Toronto Maple Leafs defeat the Minnesota Wild 7-4. Only game 2, and Auston Matthews already has back-to-back hat tricks to start the season. We're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk a little bit about Ryan Reaves and the Leafs defense overall. So first of all, Auston Matthews, with his back-to-back hat tricks to start the season. The last player to get back-to-back hat tricks was Alex Ovechkin in 2017. And incidentally, that's the year they won the cup. I believe the last Leafs player to get back-to-back hat tricks was Wendell Clark in 1994. And that wasn't to start the season, but that was during the season when he got back-to-back hat tricks. That was the last time any Leafs player got back-to-back hat tricks at any point in the season. Auston Matthews registered his second hat trick in as many games to open the season as the Toronto Maple Leafs thumped the Minnesota Wild 7-4 on Saturday. And yeah, I'd say that's accurate. William Nylander added 2 goals and an assist. Calle Jarnkrok had a goal and an assist, and Tyler Bertuzzi also scored for Toronto, which gave 28 saves from Ilya Samsonov. Mitch Marner and Morgan Rielly added 2 assists. Matthews, here we go, is the 5th player in NHL history to open a season with back-to-back hat tricks, joining Alex Ovechkin in 17-18, Cy Denny in 1917 and 1918, so 100 years before Ovechkin, and Joe Malone also 1917 to 18, and Reg Noble 1917 to 1918. It's not very frequent when a player opens the season with back-to-back hat tricks. The second point, Ryan Reaves. Let's talk about him for a minute. He was an absolute wrecking ball out there tonight. He set the tempo for the entire team. And you know what? Playing heavy is contagious. It amps up the players and gets them going. And Reeves, he's also quite the character in the dressing room from what I hear. And that keeps everyone loose, but it also keeps them focused. So they're not in their own head. They're just focused as a team, and they're coming together. Yes, we had heavy players in the past, but as you saw, some of them, as soon as they came to the Leafs, they didn't play their game too well. So to have Ryan Reaves out there in his second game, and he's playing his game, he's playing his style. And he did that in the first game as well by fighting Wi-Fi and having some good hard hits. Again, same thing this game 2. And when he said in the media that he plays his friends even harder, he wasn't joking at all. He really laid some good hits and was just a machine out there tonight and pulled everybody into the game. And you noticed that players like Matthews good hits as well. And Rielly even had a good hit along the boards that sent the Wild player to the dressing room for the night. That just goes to show you that Ryan Reaves can just lead this team, and with his physical play, and he can back it up. Also, the Leafs defense. Okay, so let's talk about the defense. Well, first of all of the defense of the entire league should tighten up more as, the games are played. So every team's defense is loose right now. So there's, a lot of high scoring games. I expect all teams to tighten up their defense. So it's going to be harder to score goals. So when the scoring drops off, don't be complaining, thinking our star players just aren't getting the opportunities or they're not playing hard enough, because they will be. It's just the defense right now on all teams is playing loose because they got to get things organized and start learning the right way to play, including our own, especially with the Leafs defense, because that's how a lot of these goals against are going in. They need to be tougher in front of our own net so that Sammy can see the pucks. They need to start fronting players. You can see it in the offensive zone, especially Bertuzzi. When he goes to the net, he is fronting Wild players and boxing them out so that we have clear opportunities in scoring. And Auston Matthews, he had 2 clear goals that were the result of the offensive players in the crease blocking and pushing out the defensive players of the Wild. So all in all, I'd be more worried if they weren't scoring lots of games or lots of goals at this time of year, because everything is loose right now. So, like I said, and that's the one thing, looking at the Leafs, focusing on the Leafs, they really need to tighten up that defense. And I have every bit of confidence that that will happen. It just takes the defense a little bit longer to get into a rhythm and get learning each other a bit more and how they react to certain situations. But I think they're going to tighten it up. And if not, they're going to find themselves on the bench or even, a healthy scratch, or some of them sent down. So one way or the other, Trey Living is going to fix that because, obviously he can see what's going on here. But he's going to give him a little bit of leeway because, like I said, all the defensive teams on this side of the game are a little loose right now, and I expect all that to tighten up. So shots on goal, Toronto had 33 shots to Minnesota Wild's 32 shots. The faceoff percentage wins, Toronto 51.4 and the Minnesota Wild 48.6. Power plays, Toronto 2 for 3, Minnesota 0 for 1. So there's a slight advantage for Toronto there on the power play. Penalty minutes, 9 for Toronto, 13 for Minnesota. And hits, Toronto had 24 hits and Minnesota 35 hits. And, that's expected when you're, when you have more time with the puck, you're going to be hitting less because you have the puck. And if your team is hitting while they have the puck, isn't that interference? Kinda. 19 block shots for the Leafs and 10 block shots for Minnesota. Gio, he's getting right in the lanes there and blocking lots of shots, but I even saw Matthews blocking some shots. Actually, the one went off him because he just got a piece of it, and that was the first goal of the game, and it just happened to be Minnesota. And that's, after that was scored, Auston Matthews goes back out there and gets it back for us. Just put your comments below if you want to talk about the defense tightening up, and if you agree with me, or if you have some other idea of what's happening with our defense. But like I said, I think it's all teams' defensive play is playing a little bit loose right now, and I expect, in the next couple of weeks for all defense on all teams to tighten up. And there's going to be a lot more contest for the puck after that. Okay, so that's it for this one. We'll see you Monday as the Leafs play Chicago.